In today's fast-paced, highly interconnected world, where information flows relentlessly through social media, 24-hour news cycles, and an ever-growing sea of distractions, many people find themselves overwhelmed, anxious, and disconnected from the deeper meanings and values that give life true fulfillment. In the midst of this whirlwind, where the noise of modern life drowns out moments of quiet reflection and deep thinking, the ancient Greek philosophy of Stoicism shines like a beacon of calm and wisdom. Stoicism, founded by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BCE and developed by prominent figures such as Seneca, Epictetus, and the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, offers a timeless framework for navigating the complexities of human existence. In an age of superficial connections, fleeting pleasures, and perpetual distractions, the Stoic approach offers a sanctuary of mental resilience, clarity, and inner peace. At the heart of Stoicism lies a central truth. We cannot control the external events that happen in our lives, but we have complete dominion over how we respond to them. This realization is liberating, as it frees us from the burden of trying to control the uncontrollable and allows us to focus on the only true source of power, the mind and our internal state. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot avoid hardship, suffering, or the inevitable twists and turns of life, we can cultivate a mindset that allows us to face these challenges with composure, wisdom, and strength. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the understanding that suffering is not the problem itself, but rather how we interpret and react to it. According to the Stoics, life is filled with obstacles, misfortune, and adversity, but it is our perceptions and judgments that transform these events into sources of distress. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reflects on how external events are neither good nor bad in themselves. They only acquire meaning when we give them our judgment. This insight invites us to reconsider our habitual responses to life's difficulties, empowering us to meet them with equanimity and calmness, rather than frustration, anger, or fear. The Stoic mantra, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters," encapsulates this idea. Our peace of mind, the Stoics argue, comes not from manipulating the world around us to fit our desires, but from mastering our responses to the world as it is. This is the core of Stoic practice, the cultivation of a deep inner sense of tranquility that is unshaken by external circumstances. The Stoics did not see adversity as an enemy to be fought, but as an opportunity for growth, transformation, and the development of virtue. Virtue, for the Stoics, is the highest good. Unlike the pursuit of pleasure or material wealth, which are transient and often lead to dissatisfaction, virtue is seen as something that can be cultivated and perfected through deliberate action. The Stoics identified 4 cardinal virtues that are essential to a flourishing life: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom is the ability to discern what is within our control and what is not, and to make choices that align with nature and reason. Courage is the strength to face fear and endure hardship with resilience. Justice involves acting with fairness, integrity, and compassion towards others. Temperance is the practice of self-control, of regulating our desires and impulses, so that we are not slaves to our passions. Together, these virtues form the foundation of a life lived with purpose and meaning. The Stoics believed that by aligning ourselves with these virtues, we not only live a life of integrity and authenticity, but also achieve true happiness, not the fleeting, external kind that comes from wealth, fame, or pleasure, but the deeper, more enduring kind that comes from living in accordance with reason and virtue. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to embrace the challenges and difficulties that life inevitably presents. Instead of trying to avoid pain or hardship, Stoics view these experiences as opportunities for growth and development. In fact, one of the key principles of Stoic thought is the idea that hardship is a natural and necessary part of life, and it is through adversity that we cultivate strength and resilience. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective encourages us to reframe adversity as an opportunity for self-improvement, a chance to refine our character and practice our virtues. Whether facing the loss of a loved one, a personal failure, or a moment of crisis, the Stoic approach is to meet these events with equanimity, recognizing that they are an inevitable part of the human experience, and that our true power lies in our ability to choose how we respond to them. One of the most powerful practices of Stoicism is the concept of memento mori, or the contemplation of our mortality. Far from being morbid, this practice is a reminder to live each day fully, to appreciate the fleeting nature of life, and to focus on what truly matters. By acknowledging that death is inevitable and that our time on this earth is limited, we are encouraged to live with greater purpose, to prioritize what is truly valuable, and to let go of the trivial distractions that often consume our attention. The idea of memento mori can also serve as a powerful antidote to fear and anxiety, as it reminds us that we are not in control of the time we have, but we are in control of how we live that time. This perspective allows us to free ourselves from unnecessary fears and to live with greater intention and clarity. Another fundamental aspect of Stoic thought is the cultivation of gratitude. In a world that often promotes dissatisfaction and comparison, Stoics remind us to focus on what we have, rather than what we lack. In the writings of Seneca, for example, we find powerful reflections on the importance of appreciating the present moment and recognizing the blessings in our lives, no matter how small they may seem. Gratitude, the Stoics argue, is a powerful tool for combating the negative emotions that arise from envy, resentment, and a sense of entitlement. It shifts our focus away from external circumstances and towards the richness of our inner lives. By cultivating gratitude for what we have, we can transform our experience of life and find contentment even in the midst of challenges. Self-discipline is another cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. In an age where instant gratification, indulgence, and excess are the norm, Stoicism offers a countercultural call to master our desires and exercise restraint. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes not from fulfilling our every whim and desire, but from the ability to choose wisely and act in accordance with reason, not impulse. This practice of self-discipline is not about suppressing our desires altogether, but about understanding them, questioning their validity, and choosing to act in ways that align with our long-term well-being. By developing self-control, we become less dependent on external circumstances for our happiness, and more able to cultivate a sense of inner peace and fulfillment. In modern life, where external validation often drives our decisions and actions, Stoicism encourages us to turn inward and cultivate self-sufficiency. This means that we should not rely on others' opinions, achievements, or material success to determine our sense of self-worth. Instead, we should focus on developing our character, nurturing our relationships, and aligning our actions with our deepest values. By doing so, we can create a life that is rich with meaning, even in the face of external difficulties or setbacks. One of the most enduring practices advocated by Stoicism is daily self-reflection. Many Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, kept journals in which they reflected on their thoughts, actions, and emotions. This practice allows us to engage in regular self-assessment, helping us identify areas where we can improve and reinforcing the virtues we wish to cultivate. By taking the time each day to reflect on our behavior, we gain greater clarity and insight into our actions, and we can make better choices moving forward. Self-reflection, combined with the Stoic principles of mindfulness and intentionality, helps us remain grounded and focused on the things that matter most. Ultimately, Stoicism offers a profound and practical guide for living a meaningful, resilient, and virtuous life It teaches us to navigate the challenges of life with grace and wisdom, to embrace adversity as an opportunity for growth, and to cultivate a mindset of gratitude, self-discipline, and inner peace. By aligning our actions with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we can create a life that is not dependent on external circumstances, but is rooted in a deep, unwavering sense of purpose and fulfillment. The Stoic way of life is not a rejection of emotions or a call for Stoic detachment from the world. Rather, it is an invitation to live with greater intentionality, authenticity, and mindfulness, cultivating a sense of tranquility and strength that can carry us through the inevitable ups and downs of life. In a world that is often filled with noise, distraction, and uncertainty, Stoicism offers a path to clarity, wisdom, and peace.